welcome back to DD World. Today we are taking a scenario, exploring a scenario in which we are all of the continents go to war. So let's start. So I have colored the whole of the world map now. So let's begin with the Asian invasion. Asian invasion of the Sinai Peninsula by Israeli, yeah, and Jordanian and Saudi Arabian forces. So it annexes all of this territory along with the Suez Canal and the Sinai Peninsula. The Kazakh forces enter Kazakh Europe while Europe speedruns Russia. Russia speedruns Russia. Yeah. Because major of Europe lies here, so Russia gets speedrun very badly. Okay, that happened. Now let's move on to here. The North American forces capture Panama and they start to invade Colombia. Meanwhile, the forces of South America speedrun the Caribbean. Okay, now the Spanish forces Iberian forces start to enter Morocco and invade it. Algeria also gets invaded quite badly. The coast is main. North Africa is suffering loss from every side. The Asians speedrun Egypt. So Egypt surrenders, seeing the instability of the region beside it. The Asians also decide to invade Libya. Now, Indonesian forces also seize Papua New Guinea and Kazakh forces. A large campaign is held there for the liberation of Russia, which is quite successful, but only to a bit of part. Colombian forces are losing rapidly to the American, Canadian, Mexican, Central American forces. But they started winning also after a point of time when the resources of the North Americans started draining. But from Colombia, they had started invading the inflated Venezuela. Yeah. And in Venezuela, lost very badly to the North. Very badly had they lost to the Americans. North Americans. I'll just switch around continents. These four, yeah, I forgot to color this as Europe's part. With Brazil like speedrun. Guyana just surrenders. Okay, Guyana, Suriname, and French Guiana surrendered to North America. The campaign to liberate Russia goes quite well for the Asians, as it's just all rough terrain. And the Europeans didn't mobilize troops over here. They thought, who will invade this area? Libya. Oh my god. What? Okay, so these Libyan forces because of the civil war and the Asian invasion, they surrender, and European and Asian forces collide in Tunisia. Yeah, so the Asian campaign, yeah, it was successfully. While if we talk about here, this is quite a bad area. You know, the Amazon forest. So they don't invade there, but they invade the Colombian coast and then start to invade Ecuador. Ecuador surrenders, and the Caribbean islands again fall to the hands of North Americans. Yeah. From Greenland, the Canadian forces invade Iceland and these Norwegian islands. Yeah. Now, Yemenian forces invade Djibouti, and Somaliland just got in the hands of Yemen. So does the Eritrean forces. So do though these Eritrean forces yeah. So they also surrendered to the Saudis, Yemenians, and the UAE forces. So Northern Africa is quite obliterated right now. From Asia and Europe is just a mild obliteration. But they do start a big campaign soon with the help of British forces, British, French and German forces. They start a huge campaign in the deserts of Algeria. Which goes successfully. And now they taking the advantage of the Nigerian coup. The Asians declare war on Niger and take full advantage of the coup and annex. North, South America, and North Africa are quite obliterated to this point. Morocco and Algeria surrendered together to the Spanish and other European countries' forces. Western Sahara, I guess before war they surrendered because the Moroccans don't recognize themselves as a country, so and the UN even doesn't recognize. So why would they just kill so many people for fighting for a country that doesn't have a recognition? So they surrender. The moment Morocco surrenders, like Sudan and Chad to Mali and CAR, Benin and Nigeria hold a quite strong defense against the Asians. But soon Benin gets annexed. Benin's quite weak. And Togo even. Plus CAR also. Mauritania also gets invaded quite brutally by the Europeans. But finally, we see an African advance in Algeria in the deserts. A huge force of South Africans, Namibians, Malians, and Nigerians, Chadians, and many Angolans. They start to liberate the deserts of Algeria, probably where nobody lives. South Africa is just chilling. Not South Africa. Oh, come on. All of this area. Whole of this area is South Africa, That's just chilling and sending forces to liberate the upper part. Yeah. After years of, I mean, not years, after months of fighting, Colombia surrenders, which proves to a big loss for South America. And now Peru gets invaded quite quickly. Some Mauritians revolt against the Asians, and Mali helps them, plus Senegal also helps them. So this is the end of the first continent draft war, and let me draw the borders. Okay, so European Russia, there's now a new border for European and Asia, European and Asian Russia. Yeah. So, plus these countries are termed as Asians now. These countries are termed as Asians now. But the Sinai Peninsula is taken by Israel again, like 1965 to 1970. No, yeah. Somaliland is now independent and is a part of Asia. Plus Djibouti is a part of Yemen. And Yemen, now that is a disaster, as the Yemen forces can block this trade anytime and hamper the Chinese, North American and European economies. While it cannot do so as China is a part of Asia. But it can do so for these. Why am I not? But they can do this for so-called they can actually do that for so-called Europeans and North Americans, which are probably the same. Mauritania and Algeria recover their territories, while these and Tunisia is swooping to the Asians, while the Europeans they are considered Morocco and Western Sahara are considered Europeans, while this border is erased and another border is created for Asia and Europe. Yeah, so European Russia can now invade Japan easily, and basically Papua New Guinea is a part of Indonesia now. Yeah, so that, and these countries are considered North Americans now. Yeah, so bye friends, thank you for watching, subscribe, like and share.